Hello everybody, my name is Elvis. Welcome to the channel. A brand new video. It's my first one ever, so hope this goes well. We're going to be talking about two particular apps that will definitely help you in Call of Duty, Warzone, and Modern Warfare. This first one being Wiki for COD, developed by DVC Studio X. Let's just jump right into it and see what this app has to offer. So when you first open the map, this is what you're greeted with, just a list of all the guns in game and their stats to the right. We're going to be looking at the compare feature first. So here you have two weapons to choose from. Let's say you're interested in finding out why everybody loves the FAL. As of this last major mid-season update in Season 4. And let's look at another very popular kind of a fast time to kill weapon that everybody's pretty familiar with, that being the MP5. Fast killing, at least up close. So first thing you'll notice is, well, the recoil patterns for one. There is your recoil pattern for the FAL on the left. This is just bone dry stock floor loot type weapon that you might pick up. Same with the MP5. And then we go ahead and add some attachments. As you can see, here's the damage ranges. Up to 20 meters, you get that really fast time to kill of 0.36 seconds. And that goes all the way up to 20 meters, which we can bump up to about 27 meters if I'm not mistaken with the right attachments. So let's just take a quick look at those attachments. Of course, we want the monolithic suppressor up front, 7.5% increase to our damage range. Also, there's some bullet velocity increase there. It will add 17 milliseconds, about a frame or so, onto your ADS time, but go ahead and slap that on there. Whoops, not the muzzle brake. We're going for a little bit more range here in sound suppression, so we'll go with the monolithic suppressor. Go ahead and slap on. As you can see, just adding that monolithic suppressor gave us 2 extra meters to our first damage range drop off. Let's add on the XRK Marksman barrel, which will give us 25% increase to our damage range, bumping it up to 28 meters, and 50 milliseconds added to our aim down sight speed, or aim down sights time. 2% decreased movement, moving us down to about 92% movement speed. So we'll go ahead and slap that on there. Probably want a laser. I suggest attack laser on this weapon just to speed everything up. So you can see here it says 33 milliseconds. This is true for a weapon that is stock and all you're putting on there is the attack laser. It will speed it up by 33 milliseconds. However, as Exclusive Aces pointed out, with the attack laser you actually get 20% less ADS time if you have a bunch of attachments on there that slow it down. So of course the barrel that we added, the monolithic suppressor that we added, let's say we add a Merc 4 grip, a bigger magazine, and maybe a sight or something, all those things will slow your weapon down. So when you put the tac laser on that gun, then it'll actually be more than 33 seconds shaved off, because it's actually going to take a percentage, about 20%, off of your aim down sight time. So it'll actually be closer to maybe 60, 67 milliseconds thereabout, I guess. But anyway, let's slap that on. Put on the 30 rounder. .30 round magazine. Also adds a little bit of ADS time and movement speed penalty. And lastly, you could go with an optic, you could go with an underbarrel, you could go with the no stock option. That's kind of the way I've been running it lately, with no stock, especially in multiplayer. And there is your new recoil pattern. Now if that looks a bit too high for you, certainly take off the no stock attachments, which that by itself will improve your recoil pattern, and then say add a Merc foregrip, which will also give you that hidden 3.7%, about 4% movement speed bonus, in addition to this much better looking recoil pattern. And now we're moving on to the MP5. You'd probably want the monolithic integral suppressor, which is of course in the barrel category, giving us 12.5% boost to our range, whereas the monolithic suppressor on the muzzle would only give you 7.5. Does slow you down a bit more than the monolithic suppressor would, but this is definitely the superior option. Kind of get a 2-in-1. As you can see, once you put that barrel on, your muzzle attachments are no longer available. Let's say you were building this for kind of hip fire, so you'd put the 5 mW laser. You would go with the Merc foregrip for additional hip fire accuracy, and you'd probably go with the collapsible as well. So that's in the stock F-Tac collapsible. Wow, look at that movement speed bonus, 6.5. In addition to that 3.7 for the Merc foregrip, so now you're really running around fast. There is your pros and your cons. This is another neat feature that kind of shows you how many aim down sight speed attachments you've put on that help your ADS time, and how many you've put on there that hurts your ADS time. So you can kind of compare and see what you're getting: bullet velocity, hip fire accuracy, magazine ammo capacity, sound suppression, all that good stuff. And of course your recoil patterns are there. Now another great feature about this app is right here we can go and just look at recoil patterns for different guns. Here's the Kilo, for instance. If you put on a barrel that decreases or increases your recoil, that's what it's going to look like, that first one on the left. And you can even get a better kind of closer look at it. And no attachments, so just bone dry stock, looks something like that. And then if you start stacking recoil control and you put 4 recoil control, so like the grip, maybe the rubber grip that would be on the muzzle side, you'd put on the compensator, the bigger barrel, and say like the Merc foregrip, so you go with all 4, then your recoil pattern will look a little bit like this. Let's see if we can flip this around and make it a little bit easier. Yeah, just right on top of the other, basically. Very little recoil. So this is neat because you can kind of just look and see what the different recoil patterns on the guns would be. I kind of look to see where you'd want to be, what recoil you want to be using, how many attachments you want to put on there to get the desired recoil. Really neat stuff. Then you can also check out damages on, let's say, assault rifles. And if we look at that, get your Kilo, time to kill to the head, bullets, how much it takes, time to kill to the chest or the limbs. Good stuff indeed. So recoil, damage, we've looked at that. And then just back to the stats. Other neat options here is that you can go into your loadout screen. You can create 10 different loadouts just like you can in game, and save them here. Also really neat that they've included some YouTube content creators loadouts like Exclusive Ace here. You have his FAL, his CR56A Max, M13. Then you have its Nick and his loadouts, who's immortal. A bunch of other streamers, Dr. Disrespect, Ninja, Syndicate, they're all here. So I really need to kind of play around with that and see what they suggest and how you maybe want to tweak it. And perhaps one of the last things to look at on this app is just clicking here on Warzone, you get the map. Maybe. There we go. And you see your different bunkers here. There's bunker 11. And you can so if you were wondering where the WHP camp is, for instance, just north of Verdansk Stadium, which is one of the intel missions, this map helps you with that, helps you find all the locations for the bunkers, which may again be kind of back in the game in season 5. Hopefully it will be. There's your bunker by the prison complex, bunker 9. So really good stuff there. The next app we want to take a look at is Modern Warfare and Warzone Gun Stats, Camos, and More by Mutant Media. This is the Hate Potato app. And when we open that, we're greeted with this screen here. We can go into the Prime features. And then we have custom charts on the left and compare weapons on the right. If we hit the compare weapons section, this is what we're looking at. And we'll just do the same weapons, the FAL and the MP5. Give it the monolithic integral suppressor, give this guy the barrel, and here's some additional stats that are quite neat. If you wanted to see what the bullet velocities on these two guns are, this is kind of how you can figure that out. The only thing that I wish they will improve, and I'm sure they will one day, is with these attachments. When you're comparing guns, it's not like the first app where you can put all 5 of your attachments and see what the results are. See, if we take off the barrel here and let's just say switch it to no stock, there's your 927.835 meters per second. That's your bullet velocity on a stock FAL. But then if you put on the monolithic suppressor, you see it raises that up, and you can kind of do the math, see how much it improved it by, and then go ahead and add the barrel as well and see how much that improved it by. Add it all together and you'll have your bullet velocity, your true bullet velocity. But it's a really good app as well because you got your other stats here: movement speed, ADS movement speed, sprint speed. And if we click down here on the bottom center where it says change view from movement stats to damage stats, well, there's your damage stats, how much each bullet will do, damage to the head, chest, stomach, and limbs. And this is interesting because we see that the FAL deals more damage to the chest than it does to the stomach and limbs, yet it has the same time to kill in the chest than it does the stomach. I think there's definitely a little multiplier for chest shots on the FAL, of course, big multiplier for headshots. But regardless, it looks like we're around the 371 milliseconds time to kill compared to the MP5, which is right around a half a second. Shots to kill is there, damage per second numbers, and some additional stats like the fire rate, the default mag clip size, ADS speed, and reload speed, and it gives you the differences there between the two guns. Another great app, really like this stuff. Custom charts is also neat. You can just create a new one and you can look at, say, time to kill for, let's go worst case scenario, limbs. We'll just do all the classes Range, we'll stay within that. We'll just stay within 19 meters, I guess. Weapon attachments, you can do with or without. In this case, we'll just choose not to show those. And if we want to check out Warzone with full plates, that's 250 in health. And let's see what we see. There's your fastest time to kill to the limbs, kind of worst case scenario. You're not being very accurate and hitting them in the hands and the legs and whatnot. But 3 or 0.371 for the FAL. And then the next fastest killing to the limbs would be your M4A1 with the SOCOM rounds. Then your Akimbo, there's a very good gun, the Ram 7, just over a half a second. Now you might be asking yourself, well, why isn't, say, the MP5, which we just saw at 5.25 milliseconds? Well, that's because of our range modifiers. We're looking at 19 meters, or all the way up to 19 meters. 19 meters and below, so the MP5 would definitely be way down here somewhere, because its first damage drop off, even with the best attachments, about 11 meters. So anything after that, your time to kill goes way up. But yeah, really good app, very informative stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something from that. Perhaps I will try to include some links down below this video, where you can get these, but again, it's just your Play Store. I'm sure they have it for Apple as well. I am, of course, using a Android phone, so not entirely sure on that, but hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.